sant yàlla.
looy xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay te nag doo ci yokku dara.
Jar Oil, the company, have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
In the Gambia, we all move to different paces. Time is money, convenience is power, and now both are in your hands. No more long lines, no more late payments, no more missed chances. Not anymore. Because now the Gambia has its own super app, Zap. One app, one tap, endless convenience. Send money instantly, pay your bills in seconds, shop without borders, pay your rides, order your meal, buy your ticket, deposit and withdraw money for absolutely free. No extra charges, no hidden fees, only on Zap Super App. This is not just convenience. This is confidence. This is the future in your hands. And the best part, Zap is born right here. Built for us, designed for every Gambian home, every Gambian dream. So don't wait in the past. Step into the future. Download Zap today on App Store and Play Store and enjoy endless free services. Call us today on our toll-free number 1666 or on 260-0001. Zap, all in one, all for you. Tap in, zap in.
We're now joined by a very special guest, the man overseeing the United Nations Population Fund's work across West and Central Africa, Dr. Sennen Unton. He's currently in the Gambia. Dr. Unton, welcome to Coffee Time with Peter Gomez and West Coast Radio for that matter.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you, Peter, and good morning to your listeners.
For the many of us who are listening across the country, who are hearing about you for the very first time, who is Dr. Sennen Unton?
Dr. Sennen Unton has been appointed Regional Director for UNFPA for West and Central Africa. I've been in that position for the last 2.5 years. But before that, I was a UNFPA representative in Sierra Leone, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, in Chad. So, and I was trained as a medical doctor, so well-rounded. And I've been enjoying the position and the privilege.
Fantastic. Thanks for choosing to visit our country. Why are you here?
Well, I'm in the Gambia, first and foremost, to see progress in the country about our mandate, but also see to which extent we can support the government. And when I talk about the mandate, we are supporting governments around the world to make sure that women do not die while giving birth, that pregnancies remain choice, not a chance, that there is no violence against women and girls, and that also we have data to plan development, but also data to measure the impact of government policies. Mm-hmm. So that's really why I'm here.
Mm-hmm. So in terms of planning the impact of government policies, in the area of maternal mortality, which remains an issue here in this country, what's your assessment of where we are, where we stand right now?
I think you hit the nail on the head. Maternal mortality is really our #1 priority. But I would say that we've had progress. In the Gambia, we've reduced maternal mortality ratio by over a third from 2013 to this year. But because I've been in the field and I could see with my own eyes some of the progress. I can say, for example, in terms of government policies, health is the second largest investment for the government. This is important to mention because we are still lagging behind in many other countries. When you look also in terms of the investment for hospitals, human resources, we have the infrastructure, but we need human resources, we need the commodities. But I was also here, as I mentioned, to see, for example, do we have data, right? and we must commend the government. We conducted the census here in this country in 2024. I oversee 23 countries. There are still many countries where the census have not been conducted on time.
So the Gambia has data.
Oh yes, we have data. Now we need to use this data. And also violence against women and girls. I must commend the government of the Gambia and the partners, for the efforts. As you know, Peter, with the support of our partners, the ban on FGM has been upheld. We have laws against child marriage. I was really happy to see that we have a network of GBV one-stop centers. Just yesterday, I visited the to be inaugurated special court for sexual and gender-based violence. This one, Peter, population should know, because it's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, the fifth or the sixth all in the whole Africa. So this is government saying we are serious about this. And my fellow Peter, like you and I, we are men. Violence against women and girls are often perpetrated by men. True. So my brothers Gambian, listen to me. If you are there beating your wife, this special court is right there.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I hope it has teeth and it does bite. This
court.
Oh
yeah, definitely.
Very good. You mentioned FGM, yes. Female genital mutilation. There's been a lot of debate, especially in the National Assembly, and in fact the issue is in court awaiting judgment. Regarding the laws protecting women and girls, specifically concerning FGM, what is the UNFPA's stance on this as you engage with Gambian partners?
For us as UNFPA and for the UN at large, is a human rights issue. It's a moral compass. It's just unacceptable, and so when we talk about these issues, sometimes we talk about emotion because we are so passionate, because it's about right for women and girls. So we stand firm on that issues, and I can tell you that from my discussions with various constituencies, with government, I'm very auspicious that in the Gambia we will continue to uphold this right of women and girls.
Okay, that is that the law banning female genital mutilation should continue to exist in this country.
It should continue
never to be repealed.
Not only in the Gambia, but everywhere in the world.
And a lot of countries had hailed the Gambia when we passed this law in 2015.
Absolutely. And I think that the Gambia have done us proud because as I go around the world, I cite this example. And I think all of us, yes, we know about our cultures, but I think that we need to progress. And the Gambian, all of the constituencies, I think we should do our best to maintain this ban.
Should culture ever be upheld at the detriment of human rights?
Humankind over generation are seeking progress. If you allow me,
Sure.
many years ago, women were not in the labor force, but we have seen in all the world where women are working, participating in the labor force, given the right place in society prosper. So yes, culture should not be culture that are progressive, participating for human development. That's what we want.
I should say, if it wasn't for women, maybe people would not be enjoying coffee time as they do. The sound technician is a woman, the videographer is a woman, the editor ultimately is a woman.
Peter, we should give you a special prize.
All I bring to the program is my voice.
Yes, exactly. You are giving a good example of women participation, but women empowerment at large.
Let's talk about young people, because young people are also another demographic that the UN system right across is interested in. There is what is called the new 9th country program.
Yes.
Talk to me about this, because I need to understand that first before we proceed.
For UNFPA and for many other agencies is our development cooperation framework. So with any government, we will sign multiple year let's call it that way in the business term. So the 9th program is for 4 years, and it defines the priorities for which we will be supporting the government over these years. So that program, for example, put a big emphasis on young people, and rightfully so, Peter. The demographics of our countries, over 65% are less than 30 years old. So for us, what are we doing? It's about human capital for young people, meaning their education, their health, and most importantly, as you can imagine, job and then employability, right? And so for health, we each of the agencies, we do what we can do, but for us, it's sexual and reproductive health. I have the privilege of having a town hall discussion with youth leaders, and what they told us is that they want services that are friendly to them. They want to go to hospital, or they even want the services to come to them, to assess contraceptive, to assess condom, so that they are protected. When it comes to the education, they are asking us to make advocacy for the government and partners so that they have institutions. And I'm pleased in our interaction yesterday with the development partner group that there have been new universities being built, vocational training institution being put in place. And then when it comes to job, UNDP has been with the Ministry of Youth putting in place a scheme by which young graduates will have employability opportunities. And what we will be doing in the Gambia is bringing other partners so that we go to scale with such programs. So those are some of the investment area that we will be pursuing with the government. But of course, maternal mortality remained the #1. And we made the plea to His Excellency, the President, the Speaker, and other constituencies that we have a special program. Because, and this will be my last point on that, Peter, because we have a window of opportunity for eliminating maternal mortality in the Gambia.
I know the general consensus is that the death of even one woman is one death too many. But we have had arguments from government circles that maternal mortality in this country has been seriously cut. Is that what your finding has proved?
No, we have progress. Like I said, we reduced over the last 12, 13 years more than 35% reduction. But we have possibility to do more. And let me talk about my field visit.
Sure.
Because I was with the Honorable Minister of Health. We went to Kau, we went to Farafeni General Hospital, we went to Brikamaba, we went to Njao. So we went to some of these places.
If you tell a Gambian that you're not Gambian, they will doubt you. The way you perfectly pronounce our towns and villages.
No, but because the issues that are there so that we can eliminate are doable. And we have good practices. In Njao and Brikamaba, I could see, for example, some special quarter, housing accommodation built within the hospital for the surgeon, for the midwives. As a former district medical officer, I know how challenging it is to maintain these human resources in a remote area. So we can scale that up. If you look at the commodities, I visited and I look at, we have issue with inventory management of some commodities. It can be fixed very quickly. And of course, posting these human resources, I think we are training midwives. And if we can have a massive program of deploying them, retain them, that's why I'm so optimistic about the elimination of maternal mortality here. And we have committed. I've seen my brother, the Honorable Minister of Health. I mean,
Dr. Ahmadullah Samati
is going beyond the call of duty, really, looking at every single detail, the product, the cleanliness, the protocols. I think with these passionate people in the government, the Minister of Gender, the Minister of Finance, all of them, and with the support of the international community, I think we have some prosperous days ahead of us.
On Friday, the 23rd of January 2026, we're with Dr. Sennen Unton. He's the Regional Director for Western Central Africa of the United Nations Population Fund. Let's go back to youth affairs. the fact that the majority of the population is young in the Gambia, they're under 30, speaks to the fertility rates in this country. Is this a burden or a dividend?
It could be a burden if we don't do the right investment. But it is a window of opportunity. You know, in my field visit, I saw a beautiful young woman. She's probably in her 30s, but she had already 8 children. I'm sure I have a sister who had a teenage pregnancy and had her future completely changed because she could not pursue her education. Those are real issues. These are real life, Peter, that we are talking about.
Yes.
I believe that if they have the opportunity to space their pregnancies, the number that they want, that will allow them then to pursue their education, to participate in the labor force, and transform the nation. So that's why we say we have that window of opportunity. The burden will only come if they are not educated, if they are not healthy, if they have no economic opportunities. So that's why with the data that we have through the census, we are working with the National Statistical Office to publish this data. In fact, this year, the United Nations Population Fund will be launching the State of the World Report on Youth. So we will be providing the National Statistical Office with data and projection about youth unemployment, with youth human capital. And that could be used not only to show the state of affairs, but also to mobilize resources for this investment.
Back in the 80s and 90s, I used to work very closely with the Gambia Family Planning Association. And I realized then just how difficult it was, you know, to sell artificial contraceptive methods to, you know, Gambian women.
Yes.
Has that changed over time from reports you're getting from the country?
Oh, yeah. It has changed. Back then, Peter, if you remember, it was even difficult to mention family planning.
Yes.
Because now we've had religious scholars who are now openly saying that it is not against Islam, it's not against our value. The challenge for us is to get them to the last mile, get them in quantity and get them to the last mile. But for that, if you remember, we had programs, community program, even using radio, television to broadcast, to do community mobilization. We need to go back to this program. And lastly, to make sure that we bring those products to the young people, wherever they are. And that's what they have been asking for.
Then we had radio and television. It was all we had.
Yes.
And maybe visuals, posters.
Yes.
But now you have social media.
Absolutely.
How has the UNFPA harnessed the potential of social media to further advance its message?
Thank you very much. And this is what we are doing. This year, for example, when we address gender-based violence, we are looking at technology-facilitated gender-based violence because of the recognition that the social media is being used. But then it could be used for the greater good, as you mentioned. How have we been doing that? We have been using social media and even using artificial investment. We are making some early investment.
Artificial
intelligence.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. So that the young people, that's all they go to get the information, so that we can continue to sensitize about this issue.
And what has been the feedback as you try to sell the UNFPA message using social media?
The feedback is we need to use these young people to develop a program that they like. It is not for us, you and I, Peter, no, not at all. We need to use them because they know their constituency. They know how to put this message. And that's why we have a youth advisory panel. We have, if you go to our office now, it's just like your office. We have many women and many young people so that they can really inform us and tell us how we design program that fits.
And what about this tradition of parents, you know, talking down, if you like, to their children rather than engaging them in positive, two-way conversation, trying to know what they think of an issue and allowing them also to have a say in the issue.
You know, Peter, we must allow them. I give you my own example. My children, they are telling me, Dad, you are old. You don't know what is going on. So we need to give them space. We need to let them express themselves so that we know the issue that they are confronted with. And then help them use the channel that is most effective to reach their peers. That's why we at UNFPA, we invest in youth peers. So that they can educate their peers, so that they can tell us. For example, in the discussion I had with young people, they told us that they don't want to go to the health facilities because they are talked down. Because first of all, they say that there are people who are serving the services are of the parent generation.
Yes.
And they even ask them, instead of giving them advice, they ask them, why are you here? Why are you asking condom? So this is telling us that no, we need to be listening to them. We need to really, in designing our program, giving them space to really be in charge of their future.
In the briefing I got from the communications officer of the UNFPA here, there's mention of, the year 2030. Why is that significant?
Yeah, because it's the milestone of the Sustainable Development Goals. We started in 2015, and so we have this 15-year span. And it's critical because all the countries around the world have signed on these pledges. And so going back...
Including the Gambia?
Oh, yes, every country. So, for example, going back to the maternal mortality,
yes.
We said that around the world, we have a goal of reaching 70 maternal deaths by 100 live births. It is attainable. And so the investment that I talked about, if we make those investments, Gambia could be actually a prime example of how we could achieve that because of the size.
Okay. I was going to say, is it because of our small population size?
It's the size, the spread, because distance also matters in countries. Some countries you need to do 1,000 kilometers to reach. So we have the potential to be able to do that.
Okay. All right. And, 2030 is just 4 years away.
Yes.
What is your one big hope for the partnership between the UNFPA and the Gambia?
I hope that 4 years from now, we will come back to your radio and say that we have eliminated maternal mortality in the Gambia. That will be a big, big achievement. I hope that when I come back to the Gambia, that we will see that violence against women and girls of past history. I hope that when I come back, all the women and girls, they will choose when they want to be pregnant, how many children they want, and it shouldn't be that by chance. And finally, I hope that when I come, the data that the government have invested in, that those data are being used to track progress.
You just mentioned violence against women there. People in this country who believe that female circumcision, female genital mutilation should continue, argue that the practice is not violent. I mean, it's not like it's not like spousal battery. So, I mean, how do you convince those people that FGM is violence against a woman?
Not only no violence should be tolerated, it's actually a silent violence, and it's even deeper than a physical violence, because you are violated in your body, in your deep soul. But as a medical doctor, I can tell you also that it leads to death because of how the scars that you have when a woman needs now to deliver baby. Some of them they don't deliver the baby because of dystocia. And all of them, some children during the bleeding, they die. So this is a serious issue, and we should never condone any violence against women and girls. And I'm very proud of the government stance on making sure that these harmful practices are in the law, and efforts are being done to maintain that they remain in the law.
Dr. Unton, what lessons from other countries in the region you cover could be useful here in the Gambia?
First, I actually mentioned that a country like Burkina Faso,
Yes.
you will think in the Sahel with all the crises, they have the same, if not better, maternal mortality ratio than many of our countries.
Oh.
Even mine, Benin, Senegal, you name it, Cote d'Ivoire, because they invest massively in human resources for the midwifery workforce. In fact, they have a program like 5,000 for the next 5 years. No. So first and foremost, invest in human resources. Second, have the life-saving commodities. Just like we have the vaccine, we need to have also the commodities, to save the women's life. That's another good practice. And what I've seen right here in the Gambia, I mentioned Njao, I mentioned Brikamaba. Let's make sure that in all of these facilities, we have places for these health workers to stay in remote area and have finally recruit these doctors, these midwives by the position. Peter, if I have a position in Njao,
Yes.
and you are recruited there for 3 years, 4 years, before you move to another post, it's not the same as I recruit you in Banjul here, and you go there for 6 months and you make your way and come back to Banjul. So maintaining human resources in remote area requires a change in the way that's a good practice that I've seen, and I've made a plea for that, and I believe that this will happen.
And finally, if you had to leave the Gambians with what would that message be?
That message will be, let's make sure that our women and girls do not die unnecessarily of maternal death. And let's make sure that women and girls are not violated. That will be my message.
Dr. Sennen Unton, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me,
All right.
Peter.
Wépp lay fay. Sant yàlla. looy xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay te nag doo ci yokku dara.
Jar Oil, the company, have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
In the Gambia, we all move to different paces. Time is money, convenience is power, and now both are in your hands. No more long lines, no more late payments, no more missed chances, not anymore. Because now the Gambia has its own super app, Zap. One app, one tap, endless convenience. Send money instantly, pay your bills in seconds, shop without borders, pay your rides, order your meal, buy your ticket, deposit and withdraw money for absolutely free. No extra charges, no hidden fees, only on Zap Super App. This is not just convenience. This is confidence. This is the future in your hands. And the best part, Zap is born right here. Built for us, designed for every Gambian home, every Gambian dream. So don't wait in the past. Step into the future. Download Zap today on App Store and Play Store and enjoy endless free services. Call us today on our toll-free number 1666 or on 260-0001. Zap. All in one. All for you. Tap in. Zap in.